Christmas is a time for giving, a season of goodwill, but we've got a government full of bad will. The government is taking the pee. Nice little private parties with lots of drink and lots of entertainment, and the rest of the country not allowed to do anything? Come on, guys. The liberties they understand are the liberties they take. Handing money to their mates, handing contracts to their mates. That's the liberties they're taking. The liberties I want are the liberties that we've all fought for and our ancestors have fought for. This government is taking away the very freedoms that our ancestors fought for. One, the police bill. It will criminalise protest. Protest is a basic right. That is how our democratic changes ever came about. The Chartists would have been imprisoned under this government. Those that campaigned for the right to vote, women who were indeed imprisoned, would be prevented from even holding a demonstration under this bill. The Borders and Nationality Bill criminalises people who save life at sea. If you see a refugee drowning in the sea, or anybody drowning in the sea, what's your natural instinct? Help them. And it's actually, you're required to help them by the international law of the sea. What are we going to do? Imprison people for saving life because they happen to be refugees, people like you and me. The Home Secretary will be given powers to remove our passports if she believes that you have access to another nationality. So if your parents were born in, say, Pakistan or Bangladesh or Jamaica or Ghana or Nigeria or South Africa or Australia or Canada, anywhere in the world, the Home Secretary can remove your British nationality on the assumption that they would automatically get the nationality of the country of their parents' birth. There's nothing automatic about it. We live in strange times where people who profess to believe in the British way of life and the freedom of speech are doing the very opposite. They're curtailing the rights to roam, the right to travel, the right to speak, the right to demonstrate. These are dangerous times. Our liberties were won by protest. Think of the great stretch and breadth of our history. The Peasants' Revolt, the English Civil War, the Chartists and other movements in the 19th century, the protests in the 20th century have had an effect. Why do we have the right to roam in our countryside? Because of the mass trespass at Kinderscout in 1932, the most effective protest ever. How was the poll tax finally ended? But by massive demonstrations against it. Demonstrations actually do make a difference. We can't applaud brave people demonstrating against oppressive regimes in other parts of the world if we curtail the very same freedoms that they are demanding in our own country. I've never seen anything on this scale before. I was in Parliament for most of Margaret Thatcher's tenure, and while her instincts were to prevent demonstration and curtail demonstration, the scale of oppression of liberties now is far greater. If we don't push back at these power grabs, and many people will say, well, actually, I don't like protest, I don't like the aggro, I don't like the problems that go with it. When somebody decides they want to build a bypass road through their house, want to expand an airport near where they live, and they find they've lost their right to protest, it's a bit late then. You have to defend the right to protest. Whether you agree with those protesting or not, it's a fundamental right. It's a democratic value. If we're just passive spectators and we see politics as a sport you just watch on television, well then we're not participating. Democracy is not just about voting. It is about your right to speak, your right to demonstrate, your right to organise, your right to join a trade union, your right to lots of things. But democracy has to be defended, and that can only be defended by the active participation of our citizens. And what worries me is we've all become spectators. We sit at home watching our computers and deciding that's our participation. No, it's not. Let's get out there and be a bit more active. If you love this country and you love its people, then you should love the freedoms that go with it. The freedom of speech, the freedom to organise, the freedom to demonstrate. Patriotism isn't about flag waving. It's about supporting each other. It's being patriotic for each other. It's not patriotic to take rights away from people. Celebrate Christmas, enjoy Christmas, support each other. And in the new year, let's go out there with confidence to achieve some big changes. Part of our lives and our fight back is access to good media. Therefore, support Double Down News Join the future of journalism. Join Double Down News on Patreon. Hear that good voice that DDN brings us. Give them a Christmas present. Sign up.